Hi, I'm Ben from MobiusFlow, and I'm going to take you through a demo of our visualization tool, MobiusFlow View. Built by our engineers based on feedback from our network of system integrators and solution providers with one goal in mind, to make the visualization of your data as simple as possible. Whether you're monitoring energy usage, room occupancy, or analysing trends from your legacy systems, MobiusFlow View puts you in control. From adding sensors to building fully customizable dashboards with historical data, I'm hoping you'll see why I'm excited to show you MobiusFlow View. I'll be putting together a series of more detailed videos to show off some of the specific features of MobiusFlow View, so please subscribe or sign up to our training courses via our website. Let's get started. So let's get logged in. Now I've already got a username and password, so I just need to click on the button here. Now the first thing you'll see is the default dashboard. Now this is the one that appears at the top of the list here, and you can have a number of dashboards depending on your requirements. Now the one that we're going to be working on today is the main office, which is the one that I'm currently in. Now you can click on this minimize button if you want to make the dashboard bigger and maximize the amount of space you've got. And you can go down here on the bottom left to see the list of dashboards that you've got in the system. Now you can drag this up and down to change the default one. You can add new ones and you can delete existing ones. Further down you've got the object viewer. Now this version of MobiusFlow View has currently got 3 instances of MobiusFlow Engine pointing at it. So we've got some different data sets that we can deal with. Now I know that I'm going to be looking at the air quality, and the sensors in the office are going to be showing me that. Now on the left here I can see that I've got a temperature, humidity and a CO2, but in the graph it's only showing me the temperature. Now if I click on the toggle switches here in the visible column, I can show the CO2 and the humidity. Now the idea of this object viewer is that you can see which data you've got coming into the system before you start building a dashboard. Now if we go down to the settings here, bottom left, we can actually change the time zone that you're operating in. And you can pick it based on which country you're in or which part of the world you're in, or you can just use your browser time zone as the default. What you can also do is white label MobiusFlow View, and you can change the logo and you can put in different color schemes. And the logo size, if you wanted to use your own, I believe is 130 pixels by 45 pixels. Any of the colors that you change in here, you can use a hex reference or you can use the color slider. Now once you've set these then become the default for all of your dashboards within this version of MobiusFlow View. You can of course change the colors independently on the different dashboards as you wish. Anyway, let me just put the logo back. Click on save, and that goes back to the MobiusFlow logo. What you can also do is add new users, and you can do that by clicking on the add user button here in the top right. And you can give a name, email and a company, but you can also set the role, and it can be an administrator, a viewer or a dashboard editor. And when you click on add user, that person will be sent an email to notify them so they can activate their account. Just going to click on cancel there. So if we now go up to the dashboard that I want to be working on today, I'm sat in the office at the moment, so if I just sort of wave my arm, you'll see that the occupancy sensor changes to true. If I want to edit these this dashboard, we can look at each one of these cards and we can move them about, we can change the size of them, and we can do a number of different things to customize the dashboard to suit your requirements. I'm just going to move this one back. If we want to look at the occupancy sensor, for example, and click on the burger menu here, we can export, we can import that configuration, we can clone the card and we can delete it. If you click on the edit icon, what we can do is look at the card titles. Now these this section is the data that's coming in that's been set already in the MobiusFlow Toolbox. Now what we can do is remove that, and we can put our own title in if we want to and override that, or we can sort of just copy and paste this information back in, and we can just use the default settings. If we want to change the appearance, so for example, if we wanted the word true to be green if there's somebody in the office, we can do that. If we want it to be red if it's false, we can do that as well, and we can change some of the other color settings and a few other bits and bobs. So if we just clear that, we can also make the font size bigger. What we can also look at is the actual data source that we'd already seen in the object viewer earlier, and we can do that by clicking on the select button here. Now this will bring in all the other data as shown previously, and I know that this is the data that I'm going to be looking at, and I can see here that I've got the occupancy set in here, and I can add that by clicking on the plus symbol. There we go. If I just click on save, that should now update that card, and I can do the same on the other ones. Now if I want to look at the temperature here, again, if we click on the edit icon, I've already changed the title in this to something that I wanted. The appearance of this, I've put in various different sections to display a different color based on the current temperature. Now I can remove them, I can move them up and down, and I can change the threshold on each one of these. And the color can be picked from the palette that I showed you how you can create earlier on this video. If we go to the data source, we can then look at the latest value, the average, the minimum over a period of time, and that changes accordingly. Now if we click on the time period, we can actually look at when those samples are being taken, so 24 hours, 7 days, or we can even go everything from this year. Now I don't want to save that, so I'm just going to click on cancel. If we now go to the CO2 and the lux levels, we can look at 3 sets of data being displayed on the same graph. Now if we're not careful, this can get a little bit complicated in terms of the amount of data being shown, so we need to be a bit careful with the time period and the resolution. Now in this case I'm showing all the data that's been recorded from this year in the office, and I've set it to a resolution of 3 hours. Now this gives me a sort of a simple view of what's going on. Now I can increase this to 8-hour sample rates, or I could even go down to seconds and minutes if I wanted to, and then that might get a bit more complicated. As you can see here, if I go too much, if I go to the year, I don't really get much data out of that. So I'm just going to put that back to hours, and I'm going to leave it on this year. What we can also do is put in reference lines just to give me sort of a base level with whatever it is that I'm trying to look at. And I can give it a label. What we can also do is look at the chart settings. Now, sometimes that you might want to use an auto scale depending on sort of the variety of the data that you're looking at. In this case, I'm going to leave that switched off. We can also change the label on the axis if we want to. Let's change that to Lux and click on Save, and that updates accordingly. Okay, so if we look down to this other card here, this is the office occupancy. Now this shows if I'm in the office or I'm out of the office. Now we've got 2 sensors, and some of them pick up whether I'm sort of just moving around. Some of them are just a simple in and out. This one is doing a sample rate of every few minutes. So this can actually get a little bit complicated if we're showing lots and lots of data. So for example, if I set this down to minute by minute, it can get a little bit more complicated. So I've just changed the resolution of this to every hour, and this makes it a little bit more easier to read. Again, we can change the data source if we want. We can change the appearance to different colors. and we can customize a lot of this to suit our requirements. Again, we can change the titles. I'll just click on save on that one. Now, if we want to create our own dashboard and start from scratch, we can do that by going to the dashboards option in the bottom left hand corner. And if we click on dashboard at the top, we can give it a demo name and a description. Click on add dashboard, and that way we can now click on that in the left hand column, and you'll see that you've now got an empty dashboard. So to get started with that, you click on edit in the top right hand corner and click on card, and that will give you 8 options to choose from. So if we want to do a numeric value, for example, we can do that, and we might just want to show the temperature coming in to the office. Now I'm going to leave the title and the subject, and we're going to look at the data source. So I know I want to use the temperature option from the air quality sensor, and at the moment it's showing 20 degrees, which is probably about right. We can change again the card background color. We can change the font size, and we can change the trend arrow. So there's a few different things that you can do in there. If I click on save, I can then change the size of it, make it smaller, and if I want to add another card, I can do. And there we go. So like I said earlier in the video, if you'd like to find out more, please subscribe by the website to our training courses, or follow us on the YouTube video at MobiusFlow. Thanks for watching.